I'm Alex Berman and you're watching Selling Breakdowns. One of the most dominant mergers ever in business is taking place between two clashing personalities, Sprint and T-Mobile. Behind the brains of this merger was Marcelo Claure and, more notoriously known, one of my favorite business people in the entire world, John Legere, or as I call him, the craziest CEO in the world.
You know, I mean, look at the CEO of AT&T. That guy on the side, though, is a little scary, though, isn't he?
A lot of people didn't see this merger coming, and most of them are still unaware as to how exactly it's going to play out. Regardless, this video isn't about the Sprint and T-Mobile merger of $26 billion. This video is about the force of nature behind the deal, T-Mobile CEO John Legere. On the surface, John looks like a guy who just wants to chill out, have a couple beers, and watch the sun go down on some sunny beach in Thailand. However, if you look past all of that, you have one of the most extraordinary brains in business. Don't let those looks and that strange personality that I find endearing, don't let that deceive you.
Right now, everything that made sense a year ago makes 10 times more sense right now. My theory is, our industries, by the way, Bonnie, they're defined by the infrastructure that you built. You build a cable, you're a cable company. You build a wireless, you're a wireless company. Customers don't care.
Coming from Massachusetts, John started a career in telecom with New England Telephone. From there, he went to AT&T, where he learned about the telecommunications industry from nearly 2 decades working with AT&T under the mentorship of its previous CEO, Daniel Heese. John spent most of his career climbing the corporate ladder. By no means was he a natural at the job. As you can see, he spent 20 years just learning the basics and trying to find his ground. It wasn't until 1994 that he was appointed the chief executive of AT&T Asia. For the next 3 years, John spent his time looking over all the operations as chief executive before reallocating in November 1997. For a little while, he spent time looking over the AT&T global strategy and business development. Then from 1997 to 1998, he served as president of the worldwide outsourcing subsidiary of AT&T, AT&T Solutions. A lot of AT&T in his background, which is interesting because now he hates AT&T, referring to both them and Verizon as dumb and dumber.
Obviously, we compete with AT&T and Verizon, but they're very easy because they're distracted. They're dumb and dumber. They don't care about their customers.
Despite all of John's current charisma and overall charm and the way he entertains an audience, he was by no means an overnight success. If anything, his salesman-like personality was only one of the traits that helped him progress up the corporate ladder. However, he knew that he needed to know more about the industry and its operations to succeed, so he kept learning and he kept trading up. He bounced around for a bit, becoming the senior vice president and the COO running Asia Pacific, Europe, the Middle East, and Africa for Dell. And then he ended up as the CEO of Global Crossing, where he helped the company get out of bankruptcy and led it to an acquisition by Level 3 Communications. Then in 2012, finally, he joined T-Mobile as the chief executive officer. One of the most admirable and what people say is despised, I love it. The most admirable trait about John is that he's able to be both rebellious and goofy and still have the audacity to get away with it. You can see him evolve as he became the CEO. Here's the announcement video that was shown to T-Mobile employees when he was first hired. Notice how he has slicked back hair. He's even wearing a collared shirt, and the way he's talking is so boring and drab.
Thank you, Renee. Thank you, everyone, for welcoming me, and thank you for those kind words. I am so thrilled to be here at a very pivotal time, and I'm ready to bring my experience in telecom to one of the most important and innovative companies in the United States.
Compare that to his recent TV appearance to talk about the Sprint merger, and you get a much different Legere.
And this is what's happening in America. They either need to kick their customers off LTE and then use it for 5G, which you know they can't do.
How's he get away with acting like a total maniac? It's because he always delivers the best service to his users. His salesman-like personality is only one of the factors to his success within the industry. However, he knows exactly what his customers are looking for, and he consistently over-delivers. And it's not just his customers, his employees love him too. Glassdoor consistently ranks him as a top CEO, and 95% of his employees approve of him. Compare that to the CEOs of AT&T and Verizon. Only 73% approve of Verizon CEO Lowell McAdam, and an even lower 61% of employees approve of AT&T CEO Randall L. Stevenson. Despite that fact, he does worry his investors from time to time with his behavior, but that's kind of just who he is. Since he joined T-Mobile, he's more than doubled the market cap for the firm. In fact, you have John to thank for the now commonplace offers from other mobile carriers like unlimited data, no contracts, and the ability to upgrade whenever you want. All of these types of promotions stemmed from an original campaign that T-Mobile ran called the Un-Carrier marketing campaign, which is one of the pillars of T-Mobile's success over the years. The ad campaign ran for a lot of years, and you know I'm gonna show an ad featuring our favorite guy, our main man, DJ Khaled.
Introducing T-Mobile Tuesdays. Major key alert.
Many people often question John's character and his ability despite the fact that he's proven himself time and time again. In an interview with Ad Age, he was questioned about his persona. They asked, is there a different John Legere than the one we see online? And his response was, for the first time in my life, I have no multiple personas, which is a really wonderful thing. I was almost a professional athlete. I have a lot of education. I was an aspiring young executive with a suit, tie, and hair like Michael Douglas, and I was a young dad who had friends on the side. Those were all multiple personalities you would move between. But right now, I am all in, just me. In fact, he later goes on to claim that he loves to play the hero and treating other companies as the villains. He said, I love to be hated. Just to step it back a tiny bit, when I started here and when we started the journey of the Un-Carrier, there was no possible way we were going to get our message through the noise. I needed us to be seen and heard, so I declared an enemy, AT&T, Verizon, and I declared a hero, which is me, Batman. And I did something that is good for all consumers. So I taunt AT&T and Verizon and I go after them to create a dialogue. And then when the timing's right, I go right into their face with a move that ultimately changes the industry. Interestingly, when customers of theirs benefited from some change they made because of us, those customers would thank me. To me, what that is a future customer. They're watching and they send me emails, so it's only a matter of time that one thing happens and they move over to T-Mobile. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, John Legere hosts a cooking show every Sunday called Slow Cooker Sunday. God, I love this guy.
Happy Slow Cooker Sunday! Well, today, there's no Chrissy and no Dave. It's just me.
Over the years, his personality has kept T-Mobile in the spotlight of the general public. Some have regarded him as the company's best marketing tool. For instance, in 2014 at CES, the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, John crashed the AT&T after party. The story made news the following day and resulted in free publicity for T-Mobile. Here he is being talked about on the Young Turks.
So John Legere is the person who is the CEO of T-Mobile. He goes to the party and they find out that he's a CEO and they kick him out.
So many of the CEOs today try to live up to the expectations of the investors. They think they have to behave in a certain way, they have to meet objectives and present them in a way that's appealing to the stockholders. They think they have to run the company in a certain way, but John does none of that and it works. Does that mean he's wrong? Does that mean they're wrong? What is going on, right? I'm of the opinion that John Legere is the Elon Musk or the Steve Jobs of the telecommunications industry and will be regarded as one of the greatest CEOs of all time. If you use one word to describe John Legere, it's authenticity. John could have conformed to the opinions and obligations of investors and bosses many years ago, but do you think he would have made it this far if he had? Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to subscribe for more interesting content like this. I'm Alex Berman. Thanks for watching.